Jada stood in front of the mirror, staring at her reflection. She pulled at her hair, tucked it behind her ears, then let it fall again. Nothing ever seemed right. Her dark skin, once something she hardly ever thought about, had become the thing she criticized the most. The constant comparison to girls with lighter skin or longer hair seemed to follow her everywhere. On social media, at school, even in her own family. At 15, Jada was already tired. Tired of not feeling good enough. Tired of hiding behind baggy clothes and forced smiles. She was a straight-A student, a good friend, and even had a passion for writing music. But none of that mattered when she couldn't accept herself. The more she scrolled through Instagram, the more disconnected she felt from her own beauty. Self-love felt like an impossible dream. One day, after another difficult afternoon where the mirror seemed to only reflect her insecurities, Jada broke down. She didn't want to feel like this anymore. She had heard about self-love from influencers and YouTube videos, but it always seemed like an unreachable ideal. However, something in her knew that she couldn't keep going down this path of self-hate. She needed a change. Jada decided to take small steps. She started writing in a journal, pouring out the thoughts that haunted her daily. She wrote about the way she felt invisible, about the pressure to look a certain way, and how hard it was to appreciate who she really was. The more she wrote, the more she understood that her negative thoughts had been shaped by the world around her. It wasn't just her own inner voice. It was society's voice echoing through her mind. Her therapist, whom she finally confided in after much hesitation, helped her see this too. "Jada," she said one day, "you spent so much time trying to fit into someone else's idea of beauty. What would it look like if you defined it yourself?" That question stuck with her. Jada also started practicing daily affirmations. At first, they felt awkward. Looking at herself in the mirror and saying, "I am enough, and I am beautiful just as I am." But slowly over time, they started to sink in. She began to see her full lips, her deep brown eyes, and her curly hair as features that made her unique, not flaws. She also discovered the power of unplugging from social media. Every weekend, she would take a break from her phone. Instead of spending time with herself, she'd go for walks, listening to music that made her feel empowered, and work on writing her own songs. The lyrics became her outlet for the emotions she couldn't always speak out loud. Her music was her way of reclaiming her narrative, one that celebrated her growth. It didn't happen overnight, and there were still days when Jada struggled to love what she saw in the mirror. But now, she had tools. She had her journal, her affirmations, and her music. Most importantly, she had the knowledge that self-love wasn't about being perfect. It was about accepting herself, flaws and all. Jada knew she was still growing, still evolving, but the first time in a long time, she was starting to feel like she deserved the love she gave to everyone else. And she was learning to give that love to herself, one day at a time.